This was just a little ditty I wrote. I was sort of in a good mood when I wrote this one. I was sitting on that little piece of property up near Asheville some years ago, and the back of my property line was a little trout stream called Flat Creek. I called this one the Flat Creek Blues. And I was in a pretty good mood that afternoon because my neighbor on the other side of the creek up the hill, what he would do, the forestry department, when the time was right, they would release those little trout and they'd come down the stream. Now my neighbor, he had a pond that right next to the stream that was coming, that was fed from the stream, and what he would do when those little trout came down, he'd put a net across there, and he'd grab a couple of them and throw them over into his pond. And those rainbow trout, some of them growing like this, and he had a little Zebco reel, a little rod, and a piece of plywood on the ground, and underneath it, there's all these worms down in there, and I'd gone over there and borrowed a Zebco reel, this little, and got one of those worms, and I'd caught this rainbow trout about that big. But what you would do, he also had a 55-gallon bucket there, and it had fish food in it. And what you would do, you get you a scoop of that food and you throw it in his pond, and all the fish would come to feed. And if you had a worm on a hook, you could throw it in and get you some supper. So, so I was in a good mood when I wrote this one. And I called it the Flat. I was just thinking about life and love and the way things are and the way things maybe will be. And so I called this one the Flat Creek Blues. Well, I went out rambling, traveling around town to town. I went out rambling, traveling around town to town. Well, I had no cares or worries, it didn't matter where I was bound. The old lady, oh, the old lady, hey, the old lady. Oh, then I met a lady, she was prettier than diamonds and pearls. Yeah, I met a pretty lady, she was pretty in her diamonds and pearls. So I thought I'd settle down there and see if I could win that girl. The old lady, oh, the old lady, hey, the old lady. Ah, but she had a husband I didn't know it at that time. Yeah, she had a loving husband who wasn't round at that time. And she said no matter how I loved her, she never could be mine. The old lady, oh, old lady, hey, old lady. So now I'm back traveling downtown, 'cause that lady broke my heart, so down the road I'm bound. And there's lots of lovely ladies in each and every lonely town.